Right. There's two parts about sequences. First part is to count how many terms are in the sequence, because later on we needed to figure it out, okay, how many terms in the sequence. So let's begin with the very first simple one, okay? So I begin with 11, for example, right? And 12, and 13, and all the way to 97. Okay, all the way to 97. How many terms are there? How many terms are there? Yeah, I think somebody cover my screen also. You probably don't recognize. Okay, I cannot even write on this right. Okay, can you see all the whole screen? You see, don't there? So that's the problem. Okay, there are some students always doing troubles on the screen. Okay, you put the squares on my screen covered. I really don't like it doing that. Okay. So now it's covered my whole screen. Please remove it, whatever you did. Thank you. And you leave a couple dots on it. So don't cover. You have to use an eraser to erase a dot you put on the screen. Don't cover it. You cover the whole screen. All right. Okay. I'm going to so from 11, 12, 13, all the way to 99. Okay. The question is how many terms are there? Okay. Well, how many terms are there? Okay, you do the subtraction, right? 99 minus 11, so you get 90, right? But that's not the way to do. Okay, 99 minus 11, yes, it's going to be 88, right? But 88 is not going to be the number of terms in the sequence. Okay, how do you do that? Well, you can, what you can do is you begin with 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10, then 11, and 12, all the way to 99. Okay, when it's easy to count, like from 1 to 99, you have 99 terms, right? 99 terms. But you have to subtract from 1 to 10 because you begin with 11. So that's 2 terms. So what you should do is the number of the terms, okay, is going to be 99 minus 10, not 11. Then you get the answer. Okay, then you get the answer. All right, that's the easy part. The second part is how do we express even numbers? Even numbers, okay, it can be always 2 times some number. Okay, we 2 times some number. Okay, so so like like a 4 is gonna be 2 times 2, right? And 12 is 2 times 6. No problem. Okay. How about odd numbers? What is the best way to describe odd numbers? Odd numbers described in the following way, and 2 times some number minus 1, not plus 1. Okay. So 5 can be written as 2 times 3 minus 1. Okay. I said do not write on the screen, the chat window. Okay. I'm not asking to give me any answers yet. Okay, stop it. Pay attention. Okay, so 9 is going to be 2 times 5 minus 1. Okay, 2 times 5 minus 1. Right? Now, how about 21? 21 is 2 times 10 minus 1. 2 times 11. Okay, So you should be always an even number minus 1. So 22 minus 1. So we needed to know how to express that like that. All right, so next question is, given a sequence, and this sequence always increased by 2. Okay, my question is, how many terms are in the sequence? Okay, how many terms are in the sequence? Okay, now let me show you how to do it. Well, you just say count, it's 101. No, it's not, right? It's not the 100 terms there. Okay, much less. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, I'm going to write 1 as 2 times 1 minus 1. I write 3 as 2 times, if you write, yeah, this is one of the ways, 2 times 2 minus 1, right? And what do you see there? 5 is going 2 times 3 minus 1. And 7 is 2 times 4 minus 1. Okay. So 101 is going to be 2 times what? 2 times, okay, 100, what you do is that 102 minus 1. So 2 times 51 minus 1. Okay. Now, if you express in that form, how many terms is determined by this sequence? Okay. So this sequence labeled by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 51. So clearly there are 51 terms. Okay, right? There are 51 terms. Okay, in the sequence. Okay. Now another way to do it is,
okay, correct.
Okay, be quiet. Okay. Another way to do it is you look at the difference. Okay, you take the difference. You take the difference of the last 2 terms. Okay, the 2 terms. If you take the difference of those 2, you're trying to figure out formula because we don't want to write down all these numbers. And then 101 minus 1, right? What you can get, right? And then you will have a 2 times 51 minus 1, right? Minus 2 times 1 minus 1. So actually, you only get 2 times 51 minus 2 times 1 because the 1 is gone. So actually, you will get 2 times, 51, yeah. So 2 times 51 minus 1. Okay, we learned some parentheses, but that's probably too much, yeah. So the idea is that the last term minus first term divided by 2, you still have to add the 1 here. Last term minus 1 divided by 2, you get 51 minus 1. So in order to get 51, you have to add the 1. That's a little bit complicated. So if those are the sequences increased by each time increased by 2, not by 1, then you take a difference, and you have to understand how do we get this formula. I'm just trying to explain to you. If you don't want to do like the one I showed to you before that, express the other numbers in those forms, then you take the difference of 2 terms, the last term and the first term, and divide by 2. If the gap between 2 numbers 2, then you have to add the 1. Okay, so let's look at the following problem. Given 11, 13, all the way to 97. Okay, how many terms there? How many terms are in the sequence? Okay, if you want to count how many terms are in the sequence, and the quick way to do is 97, okay, minus 11, okay, then it's increased by 2, so I have to divide by 2, okay, but you also have to add the 1 there. That's the total number. Okay, so that's a formula tells you that 2 is coming from the gap between 2 numbers. Okay, then you get answers. Okay, so we can do the computation. And I'm trying to do another way shortly. Okay, so 97 minus 11 is going to be 86 divided by 2 plus 1, right? 86 divided by 2 is 43. 43 plus 1 is 44. Okay, there are 44 terms. Okay, now another way to do it is I'm going to express 11 as as 12 minus 1, right? Even numbers. 14 minus 1 and 98 minus 1. But each number is going to be 2 times 6 minus 1, right? 2 times 7 minus 1. So 6 and 7, those are the labels, okay? And here is going to be 2 times, what is it? 40, 2 times 49, right? Minus 1. So what you do is you get, what you did here, you get those numbers, okay? So the corresponding sequence is 6, 7, 8, 49. So if you want to count how many terms there are in the original sequence, you just needed to count how many terms here. The number of terms here is going to be 49 minus 5, so it's 44. Okay, not 49 minus 6, minus 5, because in front of 6 is 5. Okay, see, that's how do we get it. So I like the second one, it's clear. But first one, here, we just use a formula, okay? The difference of the two terms. If you don't want to add, add one, then you should look at, yeah, let's do this again. 11, 4, 15, all the way to 97, right? 97. And so the term before that will be 9, okay? So what you do is 97 minus 9 divided by 2. It's always giving you 44, okay? It gives you 44, okay? So take the difference of those two numbers, and when you count how many numbers from 6 to 49, you take the difference. 49 minus 5, you get 44, because the gap between two numbers is always 1 here. But if those are the other numbers, okay, those are the other numbers, you take a difference, you have to divide by 2, okay? And similarly, if you are given 16, 18, okay, 20, 22, all the way to 98, question is how many terms are there? How many terms are in the sequence? Right? How many terms are in the sequence? How do you do that? Okay, so what you do is the term before 16 is going to be 14. So 98 minus 14, and then divide by 2. Okay, that's the formula, quick way to do it. Okay, so that is going to be 84 divided by 2. So it's 42. Okay. Okay, so we should use a formula. Okay, the difference of the last term and the term before the first term. Okay, I already explained to you what happened before the first. Then divide by the number. That number depends on the gap of two numbers. Okay, now if you don't want to use a formula, it's okay. Sometimes if the formula you don't understand what's going on here. So what you do is 16, you type as like a 16 is 2 times some number, right? 2 times some number here, 2 times some number, right? The last one is 2 times some number. And that number, you can say 16 is 2 times 8, 18 is 2 times 9, 20 is 2 times 10, 98 is 2 times, 98 is 2 times what? 4, 9, right? Okay, right, 49. So to count, if you just want to count how many terms there, you just need to look at the 9, 8, 9, 10, 49. So the answer is 49 minus the term before 8 is 7. So 49 is going to be 42. Okay, so this is how do we get 42. Okay. All right, you guys keep writing, stop writing on anything in the window, chat window, okay? I'm not asking you to write anything right. Pay attention to what I'm talking. All right, let me ask you to the following problem, okay? So given 57, 58, 59, and keep going, 2019, okay? How many terms are there? How many terms are there? Okay. Okay. All right, so those are the other numbers, right? Let's express other, there are, I said there are a couple ways to do. The number before 57 is 55, right? Okay, so 2019 minus 55 divided by 2, that should be the answer. Okay, that gives the answer. Okay, so you can do that. 2019 minus 55 divided by 2. Okay, divide by 2. Okay, it's going to be 900, I think 982. Yeah, 982. Okay, so that is how do we get. Okay, now you can do the following, right? 57 is 58 minus 1. Yeah, what I did. Hold on. Oh, this is another odd numbers only. So yeah, I made mistakes. Okay, I was thinking about the other numbers. Let's finish with all the natural numbers. Okay, so that is yeah, that's my misspelling. Okay, so if you look at the sequence, it's increased by 1 only. So that's what the 2019 minus 56, not the 55. Okay, because it's increased by 1. Let me do the next problem. Skip it, each number. Okay, so 2019 minus 56 is 1963. Okay, now if I change the problem, only consider odd numbers. Only consider odd numbers. Okay, only consider odd numbers. How many terms are there? Okay, now in this case, okay, if you want to use a formula, you have to 2019, you have to minus 50. The other number before 57 is 55. Then the gap between them is 2. So you have to divide by 2. Okay. Then, and that if you use a formula, okay, it's minus 55. But this is not a formula I wish you to do that. Okay, it's going to be 982. Now, what I want you to do is you write down, express each other numbers in this form: 58 minus 1, 58 minus 1, 60 minus 1, and 2020 minus 1. Then each of the number, okay, is going to be written as 58 divided by 2, right? It's going to be 20, it's going to be 29. 2 times 29 minus 1. 2 times 30 minus 1. 2 times 1010 minus 1. Okay, so this sequence corresponds to another sequence. It starts from 29, 30, 31, all the way to 1010. Then you count how many terms in this sequence, and clearly it's going to be 1010 minus 28. So that is going to be 982, the same number, okay? 982. Okay. So we should learn how to express another number, okay? As an even number minus 1. And the even number will be has a factor of 2 there. Right? It has a factor of 2 there. All right, now let's try next problem. Okay, let's try next problem. So given, this is a challenge, okay, given 9, 12, 15, 18, 2019, okay, can we find out how many terms there? Yeah, can we find the how many terms there? Right. Yeah, how many terms are there? Okay. Well, the formula, think about formula, right? I said that the term before 9, what is the term before 9? The term before 9 is the difference between 9 and 12 is 3. Between 12 and 15 is 3. So 9 minus 3 is going to be 6. Right? 9 minus 3 is going to be 6. Okay? So the gap, the difference between two terms, between two consecutive terms is going to be 3. Okay, using that, okay, then you can solve the problem. So you take the difference. The formula says that the difference between the last term and the term before that, which is 6, then divide by the difference. That's how do you get all the terms, the number of the terms. Okay, so this is a formula, but we will try a different way how to get this. Okay, so 2019 minus 6 will be 2013, and this is divisible by 3. Okay, divisible by 3. Okay, so it's going to be 671. So that's 671 terms there. Now, but question is, how do I get, how do I express 9, 12, 15, 18 in a nice way? Okay, so you can find actually 9, let's say 9, 12, okay. So this is a multiple of all of them. That's a multiple of 3, including 2009, right? So it's going to be 3. 9 is going to be 3 times 3, right? And let's write another way. 9 is 3 times 3. Okay, 9 is 3 times 3. 12 is 3 times 4. 15 is 3 times 5. And 18 is 3 times 6, right? And 2019 is 3 times, I'm going to divide by 3. 2019 divided by 3 is going to be 673. So you see that, then you get the corresponding new sequence. Okay, then you will get, then you can easily count how many terms there. Okay, you start from 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So the number of the terms is going to be 673 minus 2. So that's why it's a 671, because it began with 3. The term before 3 is 2. So that's why, how do we, this is how do we get these answers, okay? Okay, but I use a formula. If you understand the formula, and then you can quickly get the answer. You don't need to decompose the numbers, right, into some nice forms. All right, let me ask you to look at the following one. Right, so we have begin with 10, 13, 16, all the way to every time it's going to be add 3. Okay. Now the question is how many terms there? How many terms are there? So you see, every time it's increased by 3, increased by 3. Now you can do the following way, right? Increase by 3. So 10 is okay, right? The term before 10, I can express as before 10 is 7, okay? Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like that. 7, 10 is 7 plus 3, okay? Then 13, you add another 3. So 13 plus 7 is 3 plus 3, so 3 times 2. 16 is you add another 3. Another 3 will be 3 times 3, right? And keep it going. 1,567. I don't know how many 3s you have to add. So we can figure out that. So you end up with a kind of equation. Okay, you have the equation 1,567 is going to be 7 plus 3 times some number. And what is that number? Well, the first thing you have to do is subtract the 5 from both sides. So 1,560 equals 3 times that number. And then you divide that number is going to be, you divide by 3. Okay, so I hope I can get an answer. Divide by 3. Yes, it's a 520. So that number is going to be 520. Okay, so how many terms there? 520 there, because you begin with a 1, right? 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times, right? 3 times 1, 3 times 2, 3 times 3, and 3 times 520. So that's why there are 520 terms there, okay? There are 520 terms, okay? So it's not easy to play with those numbers, all right? Okay. Now, sometimes we have to do the decrease in a different order, okay? You can begin with 2019 and 2015. 2011, and keep going, you get 23, right? But you can reverse the order. How many terms are there? Okay, how many terms are there? Okay, so you can, it's decreased by, notice that decreased by 4 actually each time. Decreased by 4. Eventually you end up with 23. So how can I do that? Decreased by 4. Okay, if you don't want to reverse the order, that's fine. So 2019, the term before that is 2023 minus 4, right? That's why I had to get this, right? And the 2015 is have to minus another 4, so another 4, so it's minus double the 4. And the 2011, you have to subtract another 4, so you subtract 3/4. Now the question is, how many 4s you have to subtract in order to get 23? So 2023 minus 4 times the number of the 4s you have to subtract in order to get 23. So the question is, what is that number, right? What is that number for the last term? Okay, I'm going to subtract both sides from by 23, right? Then I have to divide by 2000 divided by 4, it's 500. So actually 500 terms, okay? So let me repeat again. 2019 is going 2023 minus 4 times 1, right? And blah, 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 and go to 23 is going 2023 minus 4 times 500. So clearly, right, there are 500 terms there, right? So there are 500 terms, okay? Right, so now we stop counting the terms because sometimes we need it later, okay? Let's do the, let's work out sequences, okay? How to add them together. Now the famous problem, I hope some of you already know that, is what is the sum 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all the way to 100. Now that problem was given by some elementary school teachers when it's a second grade, okay? So we, let's, yeah. So how to add them together, okay? The trick here is, the idea is simple, okay? What you do is, you write down all the numbers, okay? And then you reverse the order. I begin with 100, 99, 98, 97. The last term is 1. So I add those two together, double it. In other words, double the sum, okay? If I double the sum here, when I do the adding, when I do the adding, I use this. I add those together instead, okay, vertically. You can always regroup it when you add the two numbers together, right? So you get 101, 101. You always get the 101, 101. How many 101s there? 100 terms. This is the place where you have to count the terms. 100 terms. 101 times 100. But this is a double the sum, all right? You just, the second row, you just reverse the order of those numbers. So the sum of the original sequence is going to be half of that, right? Now, when you double it, you can make it easier to do the computation. So then you do the multiplication. 101 100 divided by 2 is a 50, and after you compute it, finish the product, then you get 5,050. Okay, that's how they do that. Okay, now if I ask you to, all right, so I begin with any number. Like this year you are, you say someone says 10 years old, sometimes say 11. Let's say 11 years old, right? And then all the way to, for example, all the way to 2020, right? How do you add them together? Okay. To add them together, you still use the idea double it, right? So double it. And then reverse order. Okay, add them together. Okay, then you double it, right? And at the end, you have to divide by 2. So when you double it, let's look at each time you will get the same sum. So it's going to be 2031, 2031, 2031. Now the question is how many terms there? 2031 times the number of the terms. Now you have to find out the number of the terms. Number of the terms, you begin with 11, increase by 1. So 2020 minus 10, 2010. Okay. Okay, 2010. Okay, that's the answer, right? So the original sum, you have to divide by 2 because you double it. So 2031 times 2010 divided by 2. Now, if you don't want to use a calculator, you can do by hand. Okay, times 2020 divided by 2. Wow, that's numbers. It's pretty large number. Okay. Yeah, just multiply them out. Then you get this answer. Now I'm going to ask you to think about the next problem. Find the sum 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 all the way to 2021. Okay, try to find the sum of this number. Now you have to count how many terms there. Yeah, how many terms there? Okay, work on this. All right, so let's see. All right, first of all, we'll do the same idea. You use the same idea. So 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. Okay, you reverse the order. 2021, 2019, and keep it going. So 1, right? Add them together. You will see each time if you add them vertically, you will get 2020, 2020. Right? Question is how many terms there? Because you have to add them together horizontally. Right now, you have to make sure you figured out the number of the terms. Okay, the number of the terms. The question is how many terms there? Okay, right? First of all, you add them vertically, then you add them horizontally. The number of the term, right? How do you do that? Well, 1 is written as 1 times 2 times 1 minus 1. And the last term, 2021, is going to be 2 times, right? Actually, 2020 divided by 2. So 1010 minus 1, I think. So there'll be 1,010 terms. 1,010 terms. Okay? Right? No, 2020, yeah. 1,011 terms. Yeah, 2022 minus 1. Okay. Okay. So the sum of those numbers is going to be 2020 times 1,011 divided by 2. Okay, you multiply this out. Yeah, you multiply this out. Okay, 2020. Okay, if you multiply this out, yeah, it's going to be 2,000 and the 1,010 times this number. Okay. All right, you don't need to multiply them out. This is a good number. It's just plot out the two numbers. Okay, 2021 is going to be 2020 minus 1. Okay, 2020, yeah, 2022 minus 1. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you have to figure out how many terms there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to ask you to do the following problem. Find the sum of 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 and 101. Okay. Yeah, please work out this. Yeah, first of all, you have to count how many terms, right? Yeah, let's look at how many terms there. The number of the terms, guys, the number of the terms is going to be, so this one, right, it's going to be 2 times 1 minus 1. This term will be 2 times 51 minus 1. Okay. 102 minus 1. 102 minus 102 divided by 2 is 51. So clearly there are 51 terms. Okay. That's enough, okay? You needed to know the 51 terms, okay? So then it's 1 plus 3 plus 5 all the way to this, and the 1, 1, and the 2, right? This is 1, it's 99, and it's 1, okay? Now, what we're doing here is the last term plus the first term. Divide by the number of terms. You see, it's 1 or 2, 1 or 2, 1 or 2. Okay, the number of the terms is 51. Then you have to divide by 2, right? Always divide by 2, right? The answer is 1 plus 3 plus 5 is going to be 1 or 2 times 51 divided by 2. Okay, so let's try to figure out the formula. If this is a sequence, okay, if this is a sequence increased by the fixed number, we call it arithmetic sequence. How do you add them? How to find the sum? So based on our above observation, the sum is going to be, okay, sum is going to be, you have to divide by the average value. Actually, this is the average value. You see, this is the average value, okay? The first term plus last term divided by 2, okay? You can also, like this, the sum of the first term plus the last term, right? That's what we did here, right? First, when we add two numbers vertically, this actually is the first term times, and then times number of terms, okay? And divide by 2, okay? So that's where, how do we add the two together? You see, the first term, look at the first term and the last term here, right? Okay, and the number of the terms, 51. The number of the terms, 51, and divide by 2, okay? The number of the terms is 51 here, okay? Because first of all, you add the two numbers vertically. You get the first term, last term, okay? Add them together. Then you add all the numbers horizontally, right? Then you just multiply by the number of the terms. But then you get a double of the sum, so you have to divide 2. Okay. So once you get this, you can quickly solve the following problem. Okay. 9 plus 11 plus 13 and 201. Okay. Find the sum. Now to do that, I needed to figure out how many terms there. So first of all, how many terms? Second, what is the sum? Okay, what is the sum? How many terms? Do you remember how to do that? It is always increased by 3, right? 2, increased by 2. So 9 is going to be 7 plus 2, right? 11, you add another 2, so you double. 13, you add another 2, you get triple. Okay, and 201, you needed to figure out how many terms you add, how many 2's you add. So you have to figure out that number. You have to solve the equation. So 201 equals 7 plus 2 times this number. We don't know. It's a mystery, right? So first thing is 201 minus 7. 201 minus 7. 201 minus 7 is going to be 194. Okay. Then that number divided by 4, divided by 2. Divided by 2 is going to be 97. So there are 97 terms here. There are 97 terms here. Okay, once you get 97, then how do you find the sum? Remember, the sum is going to be the first term plus by formula. Okay, by the formula, let's say, by the formula, the sum is going to be the first term plus last term multiplied by the number of the term divided by 2. Okay, that's a quick way to do that. But what we're doing actually here is going like that. Why is first term plus last term? It's because 9, 11, 13, 2001, right? If you use a traditional way to do, you have to reverse the order. 201, 199, right? 197. When you add them together vertically, you do get, right, the sum of the first term and the last term. Then every time you get this same number, right, it's 210, 210, 210, 210. So you add all the 210. The question is how many 210s there? 97. That's why how to get 97. So add them together. 210 times 97. Then you have to divide by 2. Why I have to divide by 2? Because you double the sequence, right? You double the sequence. So the sum of the first row is have the half of that. Okay, so that's how to get this. Okay, so 210, right? And times 97 divided by 2. This is answer 10, 185. Right? So that is answer. Okay, let's work out the next problem. Okay. What is the sum of the following problems? Okay. Well, that should be a little bit easier than the previous one, and I hope you can figure it out. Okay, please do this problem. Yeah, you need to figure out how many terms there, right? How many terms there? All right, so first of all, the number of terms is going to be 108 minus 5 is 103. Okay, so you got this. Then, if you use a formula, the sum is going to be the first term plus the last term multiplied by the number of term divided by 2. Okay, So you know how do we get this, right? You should know how to get the formula. Even you apply the formula, you should know how to get the formula, okay? So 6 plus 108 is going to 114, and 114 multiplied by 103, and then divide by 2. So the answer is 5,871. Right? Okay. Now, if we are given the other terms, other numbers, right? Suppose it's 11, 13, 15. Yeah, add them together. 101. Okay. Okay, how do you get this? Okay, first of all, you have to find out how many terms there, right? What is the best way to get the number of terms? Remember, there are a couple ways to do. Use the formula, the last term minus term previous that. The number of terms is going to be the last term minus the term before that, which is 9, divided by 2. That's the increasing part, okay? And if you don't understand that part, we can use a standard way to solve the problem. Okay, it's going to be divided by 2. It's going to be 46, right? Now you can also get this. 11 is going to be 12 minus 1, right? 13 is going to be 14 minus 1. 101 is going to be 102 minus 1. Then each of them 12 is going to be 6. 12 is going to be 6, is going to be 2 times 6, not 6 times. Yeah. So it's begin from, yeah, it's 2 times 6 minus 1. Here's 2 times 7 minus 1. Here's 2 times 51 minus 1, right? So you just needed to know from 6, from 7, all the way to 51, how many terms there, right? It'll be 51 minus 5. 51 minus 5 is going to be 46. Okay. Right. So the number of terms is going to be 51 minus 5. It's 46. It's the same. Okay. All right. So now the question is, how do you add them together? The sum. If we use a formula, it's going to be the first term plus the last term multiplied by number of the terms divided by 2. Okay, so that's his answer. Okay, so we stop here after we finish this. 11 plus 101, okay, and multiply by 46 divided by 2 is going to be 2,576. All right, so yeah, that's the end of the class.